Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Celtic Way YouTube channel, X page, and Facebook page. It is Ross County versus Celtic lineup reaction plus build up as Rodgers shuffles his pack. I'll just get straight into the team, Tony, before we freeze to death. Casper Schmeichel in goals, a back four of Alistair Johnson, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Austin Trusty, and Alex Bailly. A midfield three of Callum McGregor, the captain, Arne Engels, and Rio Hatate, and then a much changed front three of Adam Ida. Well, actually, one change out wide, and Kyogo, Adamida, and Yang Hyun Jun on the right. So the subs today are Sinisalo, Taylor, Scales, McCowan, Kenny, Bernardo, Montgomery, Cummins, and Ralston. Tony, how are you doing this morning? I can imagine what you're probably going to say already. It is absolutely freezing here. But Tony, how are you doing? And more importantly, what do you think about the team?
I'm very well, Ryan. Cold, yeah, it's cold, but listen, 3 points at stake, Ryan. Be clinical, be professional. He's had to shuffle the pack, needs must and all of that, but Kyogo and Adamida are together. Lots of people want to see how they do. Well, let's see how they do. They've got an opportunity today to score the goals that get Celtic all 3 points. Conditions are not exactly ideal. It is freezing, but it's the same for both teams. Got to go on with it, Ryan. And obviously Celtic have got their not so much injury problems to seek per se, but there has been a change in personnel, but it's still a strong team that they're fielding today. So, yeah, looking forward to it, actually.
Yeah, a couple of changes from the midweek game. We've got obviously Alex Bailly back on the side. We thought it was going to be an unchanged back four with the social post that Celtic put up on their social channels, but it's Alex Bailly that's playing at left back instead of Greg Taylor. There was two Greg Taylors. One was in the starting lineup, one was on the bench. Trust me, we've all done it. We've all made mistakes like that. And it's Alex Bailly who's at left back. We've also got Rio Hatate in the attacking midfield position. I think he's had quite a number of good performances off the bench for Celtic in recent games. And we've got Kyogo who's back in the team, albeit we think that he's going to be on the left wing where he started his Celtic career, actually. I seem to remember him playing against Jablonec out wide, as well as when he came on against Hearts for his debut. Adamida leads the line, Yang Hyun Jun on the right. What would you make of those changes, Tony? Do you think they're effective changes, or do you think they're down to necessity as well? Obviously, no Daisa Maeda or Nicholas Kuhn today featured whatsoever.
I think Brendan Rodgers' hand's been forced. It is necessity. But again, that's why you've got a depth of squad that you can cope with these kind of setbacks. You know, it remains to be seen if they're setbacks per se, but they've still got strong players coming in. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to see how Kyogo and Ida function together. Be interesting to see that dynamic. Strong midfield again. Disappointed for Luke McCowan because I thought he's had a decent couple of games. But again, rotation. I just want to see how IXVI does in the minus temperatures. You know, used to playing in Barcelona where the sun shines 24/7. So be interesting to see how he copes with Dingwall in all its splendour and glory. But Ryan, we talk about it all the time. Apply that scoreboard pressure again. It's all about going 18 points clear of Rangers today with a win, and let's do that.
Yeah, anyone will do, to be honest, today, Tony. I would have probably... We're just having a wee look at the pitch, getting the lines getting drawn out, not drawn out, but cleared up by the groundsman. What do you make of the surface, Tony? We obviously walked in, and, you know, it looks pretty cold out there, pretty chilly, pretty frozen. It's freezing here, but it looks freezing out there on the pitch as well. But the best way for the Celtic players to warm up is by running about and getting in about it. Isn't that right, Tony?
Yeah, there's a smattering of what you would say frost on the pitch, isn't there, Ryan?
Yeah, there's also a seagull line on it. I don't know if it's alive or not, but maybe it might be frozen there. But thank you very much. Just get the team lines there. But yeah, what would you make of the conditions?
But we're actually, I mean, as I say, there's a smattering of frost on it. It's white. Certainly the surface on the top is kind of white, but we are reliably informed that the surface is good to go and the players won't have any problem playing football on it. So that's all that I'm concerned about, Ryan. I just hope the conditions don't play any part. But again, it was a tricky tie up here the last time. Kuhn scored 2 minutes to go to ensure all 3 points. Like you just said there, I think Celtic will take any kind of win today. But if they can get a performance, all the better. But as I say, I'm interested to see that dynamic with the two up top, Kyogo and Ida, see how it functions.
Probably just as interesting as the starting lineup today, Tony, as the bench. I'm just having a wee look at it on paper. We've got Johnny Kenny, who's just returned from a very successful loan stint at Shamrock Rovers. You've also got Daniel Cummins, who has been absolutely tearing it up for the B team, the under-19s team, and the Lowland League and the UEFA Youth League, respectively. You've also got Adam Montgomery, who's been out on loan a couple of times, but he finds himself back on the bench, probably down to necessity and the fact that they need wide options given the injuries that are in the team. But just having a look at the players that have came through the academy there. You've obviously got Johnny Kenny, who was in and about the B team before making those loan moves. You've got Adam Montgomery, you've got Daniel Cummins, and you've got Tony Ralston as well. So it shows that academy is there. I did see a couple of dissenting tweets and voices about Celtic not playing any Scottish players a couple of games ago. Look at the amount of subs that Celtic have on the bench that are coming through the academy. It's a good advert knowing that these players may be down to necessity, but they're there and they're on the bench, and maybe a few of them will come on and make appearances today.
I'd love to see Johnny Kenny or Daniel Cummins come on today and score a goal. I think that lots of Celtic supporters would like to see that as well. They'll only come on if and when the game they feel that they're done and dusted, and Celtic are well in command. But it would be good to see them get some game time. Johnny Kenny especially, because Johnny Kenny has been tearing it up, but everybody's been saying, "Oh, it's the Irish League," but he's been scoring in the Europa Conference League as well, Ryan. I don't care what anybody says. That's a decent level of football. It's highly competitive level of European football. So, and as I say, I would like Celtic to be in that position, that luxurious position where they can bring him on and hopefully can make an impact. Daniel Cummins, he talking about tearing it up at your level, and good on him. And I think that's a reward. Yeah, it might be out of necessity, but a wee reward for Daniel Cummins, and also get to see be in and around that first team setup, see how it works. I think it's great for these guys' confidence, and I'm hoping that Daniel Cummins gets some minutes as well. Just let him see what it's all about, the standards that are required. But the boy's got exceptionally high standards at the level that he's performing at. It's just up to grade today. But it'd be lovely to see the two of them come on at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you see the game going today, Tony? Ross County are a team that are in good form at the moment. Was it 10 out of the 10 points out of 12, you said?
Yeah, the last 12, yeah.
Especially away from home, some really good results. Obviously, that defeat, I think they were defeated against Hearts, was it, recently? But apart from that, their form has been really good under Don Cowie. How do you see today's game going, especially against an informed side like Ross County at home?
Well, I always, Ross County have been in good form. They've gone to Dens Park, they've won, they've gone to Rugby Park and won, they've gone to Pittodrie and won. So they've hit a rich vein of form of late. This is a different test for them altogether. They usually make it stuffy and tricky and hard for Celtic, but I'd like to think Celtic are over their blip from Ibrox first game at the turn of the year. They've answered that question with two decent victories. I'd like to see an up level in performance today from Celtic. So, but likewise the other night, I said it would be 2-0 the other night. I think in my predicted 11s, I said Celtic would win by 3 clear goals. So I've got to go 3-0 then, Ryan, haven't I? So that's my prediction for that.
Yeah. Is there any other big talking points that you'd say in the team? Are you looking for a goal for Adam Ida today, or are you not fussy? Is it just win at all costs today, given the circumstances, the team, the conditions, the weather? Or are you looking for this to be a potential game for the likes of Adam Ida to go and get back on form? Is today an opportunity because those young players are on the bench that are waiting for their opportunity? Is it up to the player that that cost 8.5 million to come up and to come up trumps and show that he can be the main man in leading the line?
It is a win at all cost game, but I think Adam Ida just needs a goal for his confidence levels, because I think a lot of his link-up play's been decent, and I've no qualms about Adam Ida scoring for Celtic. He will score for Celtic. He just needs to relax on it a wee bit. And, these are the games where you tend to find that if one goal comes along, another one soon follows. So I'm hoping, and I think that Adam Ida could score today, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at it, but Yang's starting his third. I think that's his third or fourth consecutive game. It's a big afternoon for him. I mean, a lot of people have made up their mind about the player that maybe a loan deal would be beneficial because he'd get more game time. But at the same time, he is getting game time at Celtic. What's your thoughts on Yang at the moment? Is today got to be the day for him to really force himself, or not force himself into the team, but keep himself into the team given the injury issues that are prevalent elsewhere?
Yeah, I think this is when you talk about a necessity. You have to play Young today because he's the only kind of recognised winger in the squad, isn't he? So, but it is another opportunity for him to shine. He hasn't shone in the opportunities he's had so far. He really has to do a lot more for me to convince the manager and to prove to himself that he has a future at the club. But I think lots of people wouldn't be too perturbed if he did go out on loan. But he's got another first team opportunity today, Ryan. You have to grasp those opportunities when they come along. For me, Yang is one that hasn't done that so far, but that's not to say he can shift that narrative today and paint a different story.
Yep. Just, I guess we can talk about Arne Engels today as well. The fact that he's had three out of his last 4 home games, he's had man of the match awards. He's ran the show in a lot of these games. I just realised what song's on in the background. Ice Ice Baby. It certainly is icy today. Arne Engels, you're hoping that he heats up things in the middle of the park today, like he has been doing, especially at home. He's away from home today, but he's going to be an important player. While you answer that, I'd ask that everybody gets the predicted score lines in today, and we'll try and read out as many as we can before we finish up. But Arne Engels, he's going to be important today if Celtic are to get all 3 points, isn't he, Tony?
I think he's the man that you're going to turn to today. You say 3 out of 4, excuse me, 3 out of his last 4 home games have been man of the match performances. And the one he didn't get man of the match performance, I actually thought he was man of the match, but they gave it to Nicholas Kuhn because he scored 2 goals. So that's fair enough. But yeah, he's starting to purr now, isn't he? Starting to come to the boil, and you're starting to see the real Arne Engels is standing up, which we always knew he had in his locker. And I made the point in Manchester analysis the other day saying that he seems to have benefited from Rodgers' wonderful piece of management by taking him out the firing line, and he's come back and he's looked revitalised, he's looked re-energised, and he's been a vital cog in that midfield machine.
Yeah, he has been, and credit to him because he got quite a bit of criticism, especially in November, December time, but he's managed to come back and really show what he's made of, and the fact is Celtic have spent £11 million, so you'd expect that on a player, but he has shown his level. Here's hoping he can do it today and really put on another man of the match performance, because if he is man of the match, I think Celtic will win the game. Let's read out some of these predicted score lines for this afternoon's game. John Milan says 3-0. 2 boys are absolutely freezing. David Logan says it is pretty cold, Ryan. Trust me, it's even colder up here than wherever you are. You might be somewhere foreign, given the flag. That it is definitely cold here. Mark Fairfield says 3-1 to the Hoops. Jim Forrest says 3-0 to the Hoops. Margaret McMillan says 2-0 to Celtic. 4-0 Celtic, says Patrick. Nick B says 3-1 Celtic. Tony, what do you think the score's going to be today? I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you think the score's going to be? And if there is a goal scorer, who's going to be the first goal scorer for Celtic?
I said 3-0, and I'm going to stick by him. I'm going to say Adam Media will get the first goal.
Adam Media. I'm going to go for 2-0 because I'm looking at the pitch, I'm looking at the conditions. It's really just get the job done and get back down the road. I think the players actually... The players to whoever, really, to be honest with you. It's very much a get back down the road sort of day. I think the players and the manager actually travelled up yesterday after the press conference. I seem to hear that in the press conference. So they've had their time to acclimatise. They've managed to get up. I think that's probably a better way to do it than drive up in the morning. I mean, I know we did that, but it's better for the players if they've acclimatised and they're ready for the game today. Would you agree with that?
Some of the players are out on the pitch at the moment. Kasper Schmeichel's doing his warm-up. As we speak, Scott Bain. Yeah, the 3 of them are out, as we see. And a couple of them have took a walk across the pitch. And so they know exactly what they're facing here. I'm always for travelling the day before and just getting used to your surroundings. But most of the players will be well used to the surroundings. As I say, it might come as a culture shock to Alex Bay. This kind of weather and conditions. But listen, they're footballers, they adapt, they're fit, and it'll be 10-15 minutes, they'll get their groove. Somebody's rubbing it in the comments. They're saying it is 26 degrees in Tenerife. Sorry guys,
Right, I don't even know what the temperature is right now. I think it was -5 or -6 at one point. So you can see the differential between the two temperatures there. There's plenty more predictions in there. 1-0 will do me, says Brendan. 2-0 says Eugene. 4-0 says Scott Dougal. A couple of goals for Adamida. I think he needs it. But I think it'll be 2-0. I think that Adamida will score today, but I think it'll be a tight affair in Celtic. Be a better result than last time because it was 2-1 and they managed to score a late goal thanks to Nicholas Kuhn. You don't have Nicholas Kuhn today. Maybe that's the final sort of talking point. No Dyson Maeda, no Nicholas Kuhn. That's a lot of goals and assists that you're taking out of the team. Who's going to step up in their absence?
Kyogo neither for me.
It's got to be, hasn't it?
Yeah. I say that dynamic's really interesting today, and I think all eyes will be on that. The two boys have got an opportunity today. 3 points is at stake, but go out and show everybody, just put in a performance and get the job done. Just be as professional as you can be, Ryan.
That's got to be it. Thank you to everybody that's joined us on today's show. We really do appreciate it, each and every one of you. We've just got just under 850 people on a live show at 20 to 12. We really do appreciate that. Thank you. We know you've got plenty of choice for your pre-match content, so thank you for sticking with us and joining us. If you want to support us just that little bit more, we've got a very special offer on just now on the Celtic Way. If I can just bring it up. We are currently offering £1 for 6 months on the website at Celtic Way, www.celticway.co.uk/subscribe, which is £1 for 6 months. With that, you'll get transfer latest. This January is obviously the transfer window. The breaking manager and player interviews from Q&As, from pre-match press conferences, post-match press conferences, interviews throughout the season, match tactics and analysis with our data provider, StatsBomb, scouting reports and player analysis from the likes of Alan Morrison, Stuart Ross, myself, Tony and John, exclusive Celtic interviews from Tony and myself, and the bespoke ad-free app that is available on Google Play Store and the Apple App Store as well. So get involved, guys, and if you want to take us up on that offer, we would really, really appreciate it. We're trying to grow it as much as we can in 2025, and we can't do that without you guys. £1 for 6 months, so get involved whenever you can. Thank you very much to everybody that's joined us. Thank you to Tony for joining me on this show. We'll be back as near to full time as possible once the work is done to discuss whatever happens, win, lose or draw today. Until then, enjoy the game. Fingers crossed that Celtic get the 3 points and get home safe, but get back down the road safe. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you after the game. Cheers.